Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can build a paid community on Whop, and then how you can actually go ahead and market and sell this community even with 0 followers. So I will take you step by step through the entire process from creating your Whop account, creating your community and adding in your digital products and your courses, how to price your community and set up the storefront, as well as how to market and sell your community and potentially even get your first sale in the next 24 hours. So to get started with Whop, click on the top link down in the description and this will take you straight over to the onboarding area. So the first thing that it's going to ask us in this area is what is your email? So we just go ahead and enter in the email that we would like to sign up to Whop with. Once we have entered this in, we just go ahead and click on continue. And then in here, it's now going to send us over a 6-digit PIN just to verify that this is actually our email. So we can just grab this code right here and paste this into Whop. It's then going to ask us what our name is. So we can go ahead and enter the name in right here. And now we can choose a username. So this is going to be our username on Whop. And for this, for the Whop community that I am creating, this is going to be teaching people how to learn the piano. So in here, I'm going to change my name to Riley Holden Piano as this fits much better. And then we can go to the next step. From here, Whop is then going to ask us to choose a profile picture or go with one of these Whop avatars. And with this, I highly recommend setting a profile picture, as if you are selling a community, this is just much more professional. So we want to go in here, and don't worry about this being the most professional thing in the world. It's only a profile photo. So if you don't have one, literally get your phone out, take a photo, and then send it to your computer. So I'm just going to go in and I can upload this profile photo right here. Once that is uploaded, we just click on save. And now it's going to ask us to join a Whop. We essentially have to do this, even though we aren't a consumer on Whop. Whop still make us join one of these just to get started. So as an example, let's just join this top one right here. We can then click on next. And now we can create our Whop. So this is going to be the name of our community. Essentially, communities on Whop are called Whops. So just keep that in mind that every time it says Whop, it essentially means your community. So in here, we can change this at any time, but I'm going to call this Riley Holden's Piano Community. You might want to come up with more of a creative name for this, but for mine, this is going to be the name. Once that is entered, we can go ahead and click on continue. And it's now going to ask, what does our community help people do? So I'm going to say in here, go from beginner to pro on the piano in less than 90 days. So we can go ahead and enter in what our community helps people do, click on continue, and now we can choose the Whop link. So we see this whop.com/ and then whatever this backend is, this is going to be the link to our Whop storefront. So in here, it's not super important to change this. This is a good enough name already, but you can, if you would like, we could maybe go in and we could remove these dashes right here and just have Riley Holden's Piano Community. And I'm going to just click on enter. Just like this, it's now going to build out the community. So we now have our Whop created, and we can now go in and start creating the back end, the actual community, and what people are going to get inside. So we'll create this first, and then we can create the storefront afterwards. So all we are going to do in here is click on, in this area, create your first post or app. We can click into this. And this is the back end of our Whop. This is where we can go ahead and create our community. So there are a lot of things that we can add to the inside of this community. Like we can add chats where people can send messages back and forth. This is kind of like if you've ever used Discord or iMessage or a WhatsApp group chat. This is essentially a group chat inside of your community. So don't feel the need to add absolutely everything in here. You actually shouldn't be doing this as too many things can actually be negative. We just want the core things inside of this community. So we can add a chat right here by clicking on add chat. And for example, we might want to go in and add a few different group chats or a few different channels inside of our community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and we can say this is the beginners piano chat. We can click on create right here. And this is now going to create the chat where when people join the community, they can go in here. Hey, I'm new to the community. People can go ahead and send this. And then, of course, when you actually have people in here, you'll have replies going back and forth. What we can also do is if we click into this settings icon right here, we can add a quick description about this. So in here, I'm going to say a chat for piano beginners to share their progress and get tips from the community. We can then go down and click on save. And this is the first chat created. Then we can go down and add more. I'll just add a second one as an example, and we can call this advanced piano chat, just like this. We can click on create, and then we have both of these chats created. So we can just go along, and I would recommend doing this like as you're watching this tutorial, or maybe even pause the tutorial right now and see what you can do in here. But with the earn tab, I'm not going to add any of these as a piano community. This is not really a thing I would add. But we can add bounties and content rewards, where we can essentially reward our community members with cash for doing certain things and doing certain tasks. So as an example, I'm not actually going to add this, but just to show you, we could create a bounty right here. And the default one is pretty crazy. Tattoo our logo on your arm. We can then describe how they do this and how they would get paid out. So we could maybe say in here, refer one friend to our community and earn $100. Then we can go down and describe this. So we would basically say in here, refer a friend, tell them to message us and tell them that you sent them to the community. And then you can earn $100 right here. Then we can go down and click on create. So that is the earn tab right there. Then we can go along to learn, and this is the main section where we can actually build out the valuable things that people get inside of our community. So to do this, we would go down and add an app right here. And in here, we can create courses. We can add in files like ebooks or PDFs or templates. We can also create documents in here. So let's go ahead and create a course, because this is going to be one of the most valuable things we can offer in the community. So this is going to be my beginner's course. I'm going to call this Piano Breakthrough Course. We can add that right there. Click on create. And then in here, this course is now created. So we can click in to begin the setup and actually start creating this course. And then it's going to ask me for the name. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And the course name is Piano Breakthrough Course. What is the course actually going to teach you? This course will teach you the basics of piano. Then we can click on continue. Describe what is inside. So we can go ahead and just say something like, learn the piano. This is terrible, but you get the idea. We would enter a description in here. I just don't want to waste too much time. Click on create, and now we can actually go through and build out the course. So in here, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upload an image, and the place I would go to actually create these images is this tool right here called Canva. I use this for everything from creating thumbnails for my courses to creating thumbnails for my YouTube videos. This is the best tool I have found for creating graphics. Now with Canva, to get the best out of this, you do want to be on Canva Pro, but once again, I will hook you up with a 30-day free trial using the link in the description. Now, the awesome thing about Canva is we can go in here, and I'll create this as a YouTube thumbnail. This is kind of the best dimensions that we can go for. But all we would have to do is go in here and search for exactly what we are creating. So for me, this is a piano, but let's say that your course is teaching people how to get fit. We could go up and we could type in fitness, and then we have all of these templates that we can use and just change the text. So for me, if we go piano once again, we can go ahead and just choose one of these. So we might go in here, double click on this, and then we can simply change this to Piano Breakthrough. Then we would maybe make this a little bit smaller so that it actually fits in. And then we can say by Riley Holden. Awesome. Then all we would have to do from here is go up, click on download, and then download this image, and we would have this saved. Now I already have this created. So what I'm going to do is just go back to my Whop right here. We can then upload an image and then upload the image right here. And just like that, this is now going to be added. So we have the image added, and then we can go down and we can actually create the course in this section. So as you can see, we have chapters, or these are usually called modules. I prefer the name module. So we could go in here and we could call this module 1. Welcome to the course. Enter that in right there. Then we can go down and we can add a second module in right here. And we can say module 2, getting to know the piano. Add a new chapter in right here. We could call this like module 3, the first songs to learn. We can enter that in right there. And now we have each of these modules created. So you can create as many modules as you like. You can delete modules right here if you would like to. And then we can go in and we can start adding and creating these lessons. So to create a lesson, we just go in, click on create lesson, and then multimedia is the one you always usually want to go for. This allows you to add text and a video and a PDF and anything else you would like to add. So we just click on create lesson right here. And just like that, this lesson is now created and it's going to take us into the inside. So let's actually go up here back to lesson 1, where we can create the first lesson of the course. And then to actually create and add in what we want to add, we can first of all change the title. So we can go lesson 1, what you will learn. Enter that in right there. And then to actually upload the files in here, we just click on upload file. You upload the video you would like to add to your course. And then we just click on save changes. So that would be lesson 1 right there with the video. We can also go down and add attachments, so like PDFs or documents or anything like this. And then we could go down to lesson 2 right here. And we can say lesson 2, how to get the most out of this course. And then we could create another video right here, just explaining this. And then you start to get the idea. We just go down and we can add in different lessons. For example, this is module 3. The first songs you should learn. So we could say something like dance monkey tutorial. And then in here, we would like create a tutorial in this example showing people how to play the song Dance Monkey on piano. So we can just go up, save the changes, and this is how you can create your course right here. So that is how you can create courses. The second thing that you might want to create as well is digital products like PDFs or ebooks or something like this. And to do this, we can just go in and we can maybe call this Piano Basics ebook. Click on create right here. And then all we have to do, and this is the exact same for all of the files that we would like to upload, whether this is an ebook, a template, anything else like this. We just go to configure files, we add the files right here, and then I'm just going to go in and upload this PDF right here. So we can upload the file, and then we have both the course and our digital product created. So we can now go through, we can add all of our courses, all of the files that we would like to have in the community. Another thing that we can do is over on the calendar tab right here. This is more so if you want to create a coaching program or you want to offer coaching calls or meetings or something like this. We can do this in the calendar area. So all we would do is go down to add app right here, and we can add an event where we can sell access to a virtual or in-person event. Or we can go for a calendar booking, which will allow people to book on our calendar. So we could offer like one-on-one coaching calls. So if we want to do this, we can go for a calendar booking and we can call this, let's say, we can offer this for free, or we can offer this like as an extra. People can pay for this. So in this example, let's call this, let's do this for free. So I'm going to call this one-on-one coaching call. And then we can say that maybe everybody in our community gets 3 of these. So we can say 3 per customer. Then we can click on create right here. And then we can go in, and the first thing that we want to do is configure calendar bookings. And we can go in here and set our availability. So we can call this a 60-min piano one-on-one call with Riley. And then we can go down and we can say an hour-long one-on-one coaching call to help you master the piano. We can set the duration right here. We can choose the price. As I say, we can set this for free, or we can charge people and offer this as an additional upsell. So in here, we can go for free. Then we can choose Google Meet is the only real option right here. Zoom is coming soon. So all we would do is select Google Meet, and then we can connect our account. So I'm just going to connect up my calendar right here. Then we can go back over. The account is now connected. So we can click on continue, choose the date and times that we want to be available. So I will go Monday from 9 to 5, just like this. And then we can go down and add the rest of these right here from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So perfect. So we now have this added in. And what I'm going to do is we maybe might want to go in here and we can say free one-on-one coaching call. one per customer, and we can save this. And then we could maybe go ahead and add a second one. And in here, we could say paid coaching calls, which are optional, which are $50 per hour. Then we could go through, do the exact same thing in here and configure these calendar settings. And this time we would just set this to $50 per hour. So we can set that right there. And then we have a few more things that we can do. In this play tab, I wouldn't recommend setting this up out of the gate, but you can essentially allow people to spin the wheel and win prizes or guess the score on NFL games. Inside of the tools tab, we can go ahead and embed a website, sell access to software or a web app. But with all of these, I assume people aren't really going to want to be doing these. And in the integrations tab, we can go ahead and link to a Discord or Telegram. But once again, I don't really see the point in this when we can just create these chat channels here, and we can do this all inside of Whop. So that is how we can go ahead and set up the back end of our community. And once we have that created, all we need to do to set up the front end is actually, we will go ahead and add a banner here. So once again, you will want to go ahead and create this on Canva, but we can essentially go in. I have Riley Holden's piano community already created. So we can drop this in and click on save. And then this banner is now going to be uploaded. But as I was saying, now to create the front end of the store, all we do is go up and click on store page. And we can now go ahead and create kind of like the checkout page or the page that we will send people to in order to sell them our community. So all we would do is go to upload media. And for the media, I'm just going to upload these three that I have created. So we can just click on next and go through and add all of these. Click on save. And now this media is going to be uploaded. So it's at the top and it kind of gives this cool effect where people can see what they are getting access to in the community. Down here, we already have this created at the start, but we can go to edit details. We can edit the name of the community. We can edit the headline. We can add a description. We can edit the store URL. We can choose a call to action like towards the bottom when people actually want to get access, but I would just leave this as join. And the only thing that I would recommend doing in here is uploading a logo. So what I'm going to do is I'll just upload a logo that I have for another channel. We can drop this in, upload the logo right there, and now that's going to be added. So that is that section. Then we can go down and it's going to show here's what you will get. So as you can see, we get the piano beginners chat, the advanced piano chat, and as you add everything in on the back end over here, they are automatically going to appear here. So we get the piano breakthrough course, the piano basics ebook, the free one-on-one coaching call, 3 per customer, and then these paid coaching calls, which are optional at $50 per hour. We can then go into here and we can edit our creator details if we want to. We can add a short creator bio. So I might go in here, a professional piano player with 10 years experience. Once again, you might want to juice this up a little bit, add in all of your social media links, and then we can click on save. Then we can go down and we can add in who is this for, and we can add our personas right here. So our exact target audience, who is this for? People will come to this page, they will see it is for them, and then it's going to help them buy. So we can go to add persona right here, and we might say piano beginners, perfect for people who have never even touched a piano before. We can add that in right there and click on save. And that persona is now going to be added. And we can add up to 5 of these. Now, in the pricing area, this is where we can set the pricing for our community. And this is where we can actually charge for this. So by default, before we have done anything, it's going to be a free community. But to change this, we just go into manage pricing, go down to create a pricing option. And then in here, we do need to set up payouts before we are able to share pricing links. So we just want to go in here and click on set up Whop payments, choose the country that we are in. So we can go for United Kingdom right here. Click on next. And then we just want to go through and follow the step-by-step instructions to create a Stripe account. Once we have Stripe connected, this will allow us to accept Visa, MasterCard, Amex, all of the big credit cards and debit cards. And this is what we want to accept so people can actually pay. Once we have Whop payment connected, we can go back to our Whops up here and click back into our community. Go back to the store page right here. And now if we go down to the pricing area, we can click back into manage pricing, go to create a pricing option. And as you can see, we can now actually charge for this because we set up the payments. So we can click on continue right here. We can then choose if this is a single payment. So this is like a large upfront payment. Let's say this is $500, or whether this is a subscription. Now for a community, the best way to price this by far is a subscription, lower barrier to entry, and people can remain in here. A monthly subscription is what you are usually going to be charging. So in here, we can now choose the subscription price. And we can also set up both, by the way. So you might set this up like $500 for life or $49 per month. So we can go in here and set this to $49 per month. Unlimited stock, of course. Do we want to add a free trial? Do we want to add an initial fee? We can add all of these different things right here. Do we want to ask users questions before purchasing? Do we want to offer a discount if they try to cancel? And then we can go down and click on continue. From these options, the price visibility, we want to have this visible on the store page. Click on continue. And just like this is now set up. So we have this $49 per month. We of course want to go ahead and delete this free one right here. And then what we might also want to do is, as I say, we'll just set up this page and we can give people access for lifetime with a single payment. So we'll set that up as well, and we'll go $4.99 for life. We can then go down and click on continue. Visible on store page, we can set this up as well. And we now have these two pricing plans. So in here, when people go ahead and click on join, they now have the two options. Do they want to subscribe for 1 month for $49 per month, or lifetime for $4.99? Perfect. Then we can go down and we can click into edit benefits right here. What benefits are people going to get? So we can click in, and in here we could say access to piano breakthrough course, which has a, let's just say 1997 value. We can drop that in there. And then we can add as many benefits as we would like. So we could go down, we could add a benefit, and we could say access to insider community, just like that. And then we can click on save, and we can add all of these different benefits in here. We can also ask the frequently asked questions. So we can go down and edit these as well. And this is a perfect one. What is the refund policy? This is often something that people want to know before they buy. And once again, we can just copy this. We offer a refund to anyone who isn't happy within 14 days. We could also go down and we could say, how many students have you helped? And in this example, we could say we have over 5,000 happy students. You get the idea. We can just add all the FAQ questions in right here. Then for the reviews, we can't add reviews ourselves, but Whop will often ask your customers to review your course, and all of the reviews will show up down here. So once we have that created, the last thing that we are going to do is just to complete this. We can click on add description, go to edit details. I'm just going to say learn piano. As I say, you'll want to juice this up a little bit, but I'll just say add piano. And then we can choose a category. And the reason we do this is for the Discover tab, so people can find us through Whop. So we go choose category, edit details, and for the category right here, the best thing in here would probably be personal development. There's nothing that really fits better. Not super important anyway, but we can click on save. And in here, we now have this created. So to actually get our Whop link, all we have to do is go back to the dashboard and we can see get your Whop ready. So we just copy this link right here. And now if we paste this in, this is the link we will send people to. I'm logged into my Whop account. So what I'll do is I'll actually just open this in an incognito tab so that I'm not logged into my account. So we paste this in and this will take people over to this page right here where they can see everything that we get. This is the page that we just customized. They can click on join and then they can join right here. So we now have our Whop community created. Now, the best way by far to start monetizing this today and potentially even get your first sale in the next 24 hours is going to be through YouTube. So sticking with this, I'm selling a piano community, right? So what I want to do is on YouTube, you want to be creating YouTube tutorials or giving YouTube tips on what your niche is about. So with piano, the best way that we can find these YouTube videos is we can go in here and we can type piano tutorial, right? And then what I would do is I would open up a spreadsheet, for example. So we can go to Google Sheets. we can go to blank spreadsheet, and in here, we can go video idea. And then all we essentially want to do is create tutorials about this. So what we can do is we can just copy all of these Sweden Minecraft tutorial. So we go in here, Sweden Minecraft piano tutorial. Then we can go in, and I bet this person's actually doing the same. So as you can see, they have links in the description right here. They don't have a community, but they do have a few links. In here, you would just put top link in the description, join my piano community, and you link to the community right here. So we could even go beginner piano tutorial, how to play the piano day one. So we can go how to play the piano for beginners. And we would just carry on doing this. In a different niche, for example, like let's say you are teaching people how to do affiliate marketing. Well, the way that we do this is the exact same. So we would go up and we would type in right here, affiliate marketing tutorial. And then we would just go down and once again, do these same video ideas. So for this one, let's just imagine this is a different sheet, affiliate marketing tutorial for beginners. And we can even see what YouTube is recommending if we just go affiliate marketing Pinterest. So we can click on this and we can see Pinterest affiliate marketing for beginners. So we go in Pinterest affiliate marketing for beginners. And this is by far the best way that you can get started because you don't need millions and millions of views. With YouTube, because this is long form content, you can give people a lot of value. You can get your first sale with less than 100 views on YouTube, which is why this is so powerful. And this is the method that I use for all of my communities that I have. So that is how you can create and sell a paid community on Whop. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.